My name is Steve, and I'd like to give you some compelling reasons why you should subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now, I'd normally run an intro. I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to respect your time. I have one. You'll see it in other videos if you watch them. I want you to subscribe to this channel for a bunch of different reasons, but give me a minute here. Let me unpack them for you. And I think I have, a little bit of a compelling case to make here as to why this in particular is a good channel to subscribe to. So first of all, it's about concrete. So we could just touch on right away. Concrete is the most widely used construction material on the planet. Think of how many things are made out of concrete. Sidewalks and skyscrapers and roads and little knickknacks and ornaments and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to teach you about these things through this YouTube channel, from decorative little all the way to really big stuff, interesting little things, repair work that you can do in and around your home, like money saving tips. You will find this stuff useful. If you subscribe to this channel, over time, you'll see videos that will pop up in your feed, and you might watch them if they're interesting to you. And I guarantee you're going to learn a bunch of stuff. Let me just talk a little bit about why you should subscribe to this channel and who I am and why you should listen to me. And I guess maybe just kind of look at this as like, this is my job interview to get you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you anything to do. It's free to do. It materially helps me a lot. So I hope the bar is low and that you'll do it if I do a good enough job here. But the reason why you should subscribe to this particular channel and learn about concrete from me in particular, I have a second life where I was a swimming pool builder, concrete swimming pool builder in particular. And I kind of specialized in commercial work and high-end residential. That was what I spent my time doing, 25 to 30 years or so. Towards the end of the career, I, for reasons I don't want to talk about, lost the ability to do that work. I can't get out there and do that work anymore. And it doesn't mean that I have no opportunities. I have a host of opportunities. I can't necessarily do the thing I love, which is just getting in there with my hands and doing it for myself. And so I had to find a second career as a writer for swimming pool technical applications. I have a very, very broad technical background, let's say, and I have applied all of the knowledge that I've gained over, decades of field experience to writing and teaching about swimming pools in particular. And through that, I have exposure to extensive concrete applications, from structural to decorative, from things like plaster or tile, or there's a lot of different stuff going on. I have exposure to things like vermiculite concrete mixes. That's pretty uncommon, but we use it all the time in the pool industry, actually, for the floors of vinyl liner swimming pools. So as a result, I've got this extensive technical background, and I've had to kind of parlay into a second career where I'm not out there doing it, I'm writing and teaching about it. And you know what, I worked really hard at it, and I did a very good job because I'm extremely thorough with this stuff. And I developed just tons of information available online, and I have a YouTube channel for that too, Swimming Pool Steve. Check it out, both swimmingpoolsteve.com and the Swimming Pool Steve YouTube channel. And through those, I reach millions of people a year already, and that's awesome. I love it. And as a result of it, I entered a competition. I won an international competition, and I won the 2018 Swimming Pool and Spa Industry Leadership Award. And I've won a bunch of awards throughout my career, but you know what? I really like that one. It came with a free trip to Vegas. I got the award recognition for this work I do, writing, teaching, and educating about the technical aspects of a very complex technical subject, one that's more complex than it seems on the surface level. There's a lot going on with pools, over and above the concrete applications, which are many. You've got plumbing, you've got electrical, you've got steelworking. There's a host of things going on. This doesn't even take into consideration the organic chemistry and design and all kinds of stuff that you have to know to be proficient in this particular trade, which I definitely am, because it's something that I have devoted my life to, and it's given me a technical background that is higher than most people. I also have formal education in electrical engineering. I finished most of an electrical apprenticeship. I only got to the 4th year apprenticeship before I stopped doing it and focused on building pools primarily, during which time I became the plumber. Like, I was the plumber. That was my job mostly as the swimming pool guy. And it wasn't that I couldn't do the other stuff, it's that it's actually pretty hard to find proficient swimming pool plumbers. There's again, a lot going on there, more so than it seems on the surface level. Anyway, I'm vetted from a technical standpoint because I've put my information out there to the tune of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles and over 1,000 videos. And the technical information holds up, because if it didn't, people would just roast you alive. But maybe in the comments, some people will vouch for me if you're, a follower of the Swimming Pool Steve stuff I do, and you understand some of the technical stuff that I've put out there, you can vouch for me in the comment section and say, yeah, this guy actually does know what he's talking about quite a bit. Let's talk about concrete here. So yes, the Swimming Pool Steve YouTube channel is a great thing. If you have a pool, I would hope that you would subscribe, and I definitely know my stuff when it comes to the swimming pools. But I like concrete. There's a world of decorative concrete applications that you can and maybe should be getting into. And it's something that attracted my attention back when I was building luxury swimming pools for people with just crap loads of money. And they would all actually say the same thing. I want something unique, big statement piece. What do you got? And I'd go to the big statement piece aisle at Home Depot, and you know what? They're fresh out of ideas there too. And no matter how much money people would throw at the projects, there just really wouldn't be unique and compelling options out there. And that's when I really started to, apply this technical knowledge that I had learned to the decorative concrete world and little ornamental pieces and things like that, ranging from pretty small to pretty darn large. And I was able to start building unique things, and people would just want those as part of my contracting business. Oh, I'd have like this guy in the back of my truck, and one of my customers would give me that. How much is that? I want it, and that was actually pretty common. So I really started to, develop my trade a little bit in terms of the ornamental stuff. And there is so many things that I can, like, maybe I don't have all the answers. I am not claiming to be the guy that has all the answers. I more like to look at it like I'm the guy that has all the questions. I will drive you crazy with questions. I'm like the annoying child that just keeps asking why, because I'm never happy. I just want to know more and more and more. That's just the way that I'm wired. And as a result, when you like laser focus this on technical applications over a period of decades, I've amassed a crazy amount of knowledge here. And if you subscribe to this channel, I'm going to be able to give you a lot of this stuff. And there's so many different things that you can use it for, probably more than you're thinking. Because again, concrete is such an incredibly deep world. There's so many things that are made with it, or you could make with it. If you're artistic at all, like, get out of here. It's a great medium to work with because it's versatile in terms of like color, shape, things you can do with it, strength, but it's also extremely economical to get into as a hobby. Like it's not expensive. I can buy 2,000 pounds of sand for like $30. You can do a lot with that. So, I mean, it's a great hobby to get into from that perspective. And I like to think that I'm a great guy to learn it from. And that's why I'm making this video, to really reach out and ask you for your help. This is still a new YouTube channel. The Swimming Pool Steve channel is 10 times as many subscribers as I have. I have no doubt that I'll get there eventually. I've really been working hard at this, and that's kind of like the theme here. Like, I don't know, do I look tired right now? It's like 4:15 a.m. I'm out here, I'm working on concrete stuff for no particular reason. I'm just making a table here and filming a video, and this way I don't have to like badger my wife to death with explaining how to make the table over and over again, because she doesn't really care. But maybe you do. Maybe you want to make one. And if you subscribe to this channel, then you can learn a lot, because I'm really happy to talk about this stuff. Like, that's kind of what I do, and this is like kind of my last point for why I really think you should subscribe. I'm good at explaining stuff. I'm very thorough. I'm reasonably articulate. I do get a fair amount of compliments from people who say that I'm good at breaking down technical, complex subjects and distilling them into some sort of easy, palatable information that doesn't feel like you're being talked down to, but at the same point, I totally understood all of that. I like to think that that's kind of my specialty. If I can just go off course, and since this is so long, why not? I had a teacher when I was learning math at the engineering level, and I'm not good at math. Like, I mean, I'm not bad at it. I can do it. I just lack good fundamentals, and I don't have a mind wired for math, and numbers just kind of dance around in my head. And as the subjects got harder and we get into applied calculus and derivatives and stuff like that, I get pretty overwhelmed at that point. And then I had this teacher come along who on the first day said, if you show up every day, I will just put this knowledge in your head. I will implant this math in there and you will get it. And I got a kick out of that. I'm like, sure, let's do it. I showed up every day. And wouldn't you know it, he put it in my brain. I don't know really how he did it. Like, I can summarize the way in which he did it, which is essentially he would be verbose and long-winded, and the way that I talk in these videos. he would talk around subjects in a way where he would highlight a certain point and he would go off in a tangent and circle back around to it. And he would just kind of beat you over the head with the fundamental stuff, but make it intriguing enough, you know, as part of like a narrative or a story that it held your attention throughout. And it was amazing. Like, that was 20 or 30 years ago, and I still think about that guy all the time because he did the impossible to me. He put that knowledge in my head. And I'm not maybe claiming I can do that for you, but like, I can sure try. And I've been trying at this a long time. I'm a pretty good teacher. I've won international awards for the technical knowledge that I share online. This is a new YouTube channel. You can subscribe. You can grow this with me. I'm making small, cool stuff right now. I'm teaching you fundamental skills. I have the ability to grow this. If this channel grows in any kind of like reasonable, you know, expectation of growth for what a successful YouTube channel might look like, man, there's so many things that I could and would build for you and teach you how to build for yourself. Like, I want to give you examples, but I don't even know where the top end of that is. But I have a lot of experience with things like, you know, artificial rock waterfalls and things like that. That's uncommon. Not a lot of people have done a bunch of that. I've done an extensive amount of it. And, you know, something like that you might see in like Las Vegas, if you can't picture what that looks like. Casinos, Las Vegas, those are the people that have artificial rock waterfalls and ponds and stuff like that. And I've always kind of had in the back of my head as the pool builder, I wanted to build for myself like the Shangri-La of pools with like a lazy river and all this fancy stuff. And, you know, it just never worked out for me. I never did it. I never had the time. I was always busy working on other people's pool projects and not my own. But the point of this is that if you subscribe and it's a give-take relationship, I will give you knowledge that is going to be helpful to you. What I will take from you is the benefit of having a large subscribership. I could grow this. I could maybe earn some more money on YouTube, which would enable me to allow more time for the things that I'm doing, allow me to make larger projects and maybe get crazy, start building some really wild stuff, because I would love to do that. And I would love to share that with you. So I guess the final point that I'll make as to why you should subscribe to this YouTube channel in particular is because I'm asking you very nicely, please, would you subscribe? It would help me a great deal. I hope you do. I can't wait to check back on this video in the future and see just how many people subscribed.